Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you a bunch of different techniques that you can use when making epoxy countertops. I have 8 different samples here, most of them painted white, but a few of them are painted black. That I'm going to go ahead and make 8 different, totally different styles of countertop, and these are actually going to be used as my samples for when I try and do customers' countertops. So ignore the mess in my garage. We're going to focus on what's important here, and that's getting the epoxy to look amazing. I had such a good feedback from when I did my last project. A bunch of people were asking questions, so I decided on this one I'd just go ahead and make a video to show the process. So let's get at it. First thing I want to show you guys is all of the different additives and colors and spray paints that I will be using for these 8 different samples. I did a quick run through, and this is everything that I think I will need, but I do have a lot more that I can pull from if need be. So for this first one here, I'm aiming for kind of a rusted iron look with like some reds and oranges and like a touch of yellow and some blacks. So the first thing I did with this, I'm going to add a base coat of this right here, which I used a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of white. So I want this to be pretty light so I can add some darker stuff on top of it. Game plan here is I mixed up 3 different colors here. This is a orange metallic powder, this is a red spray paint mixed in, and this is a black metallic powder. And then I took all 3 of them and poured a little bit in each of this cup and just kind of swashed it around a little bit. And I'm going to be putting all of this on with the brush. I looked at some pieces of rusted iron, and it seemed like the best way I can get that look would probably not be with a pour. I may do some pours later on it, but I think with the brush, chopping it on is the best way to get this kind of faded rustic iron look. Alright, so I'm going to start with the lightest one here. And the important part with this is just making sure it looks very, very random. So I really want to darken this up. I think it's kind of my only hope of making this look how I want. So let's go ahead and just pour this black on. Okay, now let's try this around. Let's try a little bit more. Well, I'd be lying if I say this one wasn't making me nervous. So let's take the trusty dusty heat gun here and let's see if we can make a miracle happen. Alright, I mixed up some brown with this. I think it should help balance it out a little bit. Try and cover up some of the red. I only want just a little bit of the red poking through. Alright, I like how this is coming. We got a good blending of colors here, but I want to darken it up a little bit more and add some cells to it. So this may not go too well with the rusted iron look, we'll have to see, but what I'm going to do is take some black spray paint here and this brownish reddish spray paint here. I'm going to spray a little bit on and then use this, which is alcohol with a little bit of brown metallic additive into it. We're going to see what kind of effect it gives us. Call this, but as I'm hitting it with this heat gun, wow, it is looking crazy. I can kind of scoot these cells around, get them how I want them, make them so they're not so circular and unnatural. So one more thing here, because when you pour spray paint, I have a little bit of epoxy in there, and I sprayed spray paint right on top of it, didn't mix it. And this should do some pretty crazy things when I pour it on here, so I'm gonna be real careful with it, but that red did here, but I want to add some cells now on top of that, so it looks like they're hidden a little bit. So I'm going to do that, and then I think I'm going to be done. Sprayed a little more spray paint on there, and I mixed up a new bottle with some reddish metallic powder in there. So we should have a couple different things reflecting back at us. And here is the finished product. I'm gonna leave it as is. I feel like I got pretty close to the rusted iron look, but not exactly. For this one, I don't really know what to call it, but I'm going for kind of like an ocean sort of feel. With some light blues, like a hint of green, dark blue, a little bit of clearness to it, and then some brown also coming through, because I think the blue and the brown look really good together. It just kind of feels like an ocean kind of vibe to me. So first thing I want to do is get the dark blue and the black on and chop them all together. This is blue, but I only put a little bit in. It's got a hint of green, but it's mostly clear. Alright, now that we've got that done, I'm going to pour some brown and white straight kind of lines that go right through it. Black with some white spray paint on top of that. That, so I think I want to get a little bit more blue out of this, so I'm going to try some blue spray paint and some light blue metallic powder with alcohol here. and here's the final product. As with the first one, it did not turn out how I thought it would, but look at it. This one, I'm going for a purple type of granite. It's a little bit of white, a lot of purple, a little bit of black here and there, and a little bit of gray and silver streaks kind of running through it. So to get started on this, I'm going to do my black and my white and just kind of areas pretty white, some areas kind of mixed together in gray, some areas with some dark black still showing. That's kind of how you want it to look. I'm going to do a bunch of different methods here to apply the purple because I want it to just look everything purple, but the purple is doing a lot of different things. So first I'm going to try chopping on a little bit. How that is looking, but I probably could just leave it like that, but I'm going to spice it up a little bit more here. Got this really vibrant spray paint here. I've got some purple alcohol here as well, so let's go ahead and take the spray paint and see what happens. Coming, but I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit more purple now. It's kind of gotten a little bit lighter than I would hope. A little bit of purple. I threw in that purplish reddish spray paint on top of this as well. Alright, and here is the purple granite all finished up. Went over the top of it with a little bit of silver spray paint and then did some more alcohol on top of that. Break it all up so that way it gets that reflective silvery effect.